Hello, everybody. Hello, all the Segen UK and Ireland installers. I'm Marina. I'm the Northern Europe responsible for AIKO, and I'm based in UK. So, as some of you know, AIKO already from we've started working with Segen since last October. We've signed a framework agreement. So, I think this is the first time actually we managed to set up a webinar to face everybody. So to talk about AIKO as a company, you may have never heard of us, who we are, and what solar modules that we are providing, which is very different from the others. And today for the webinar, I've managed to invite actually our best presenter in the whole company, Dr. Shawn Lee. He is our head of product and solution for the whole company. So let's welcome Shawn.
Okay, thanks Marina for the intro. So hello everybody, and I'm Shawn. So I'm mainly responsible for product and solution in AIKO Europe, and I'm located in Düsseldorf. So maybe in the future we can have the chance to see each other. So today I would really want to thanks for all your times to joining this webinar. So we team together with our partner Segen, which will launch our new ABC product in UK and Ireland market. So today's presentation, I basically will cover several key parts. First one, I think AIKO may be a new brand name to you. So I'll briefly introduce who is AIKO. And after that, I will introduce our latest ABC product and several case analysis about what kind of values our product can bring to the users. So first one, a little bit introduce about AIKO, because I think AIKO is a new brand for the module supplier, but actually we are already in the solar industry for many years. We are one of the top solar cell manufacturing in the past 14 years. And until now, we already shipped over 120 gigawatt solar cells worldwide. And our turnover in 2022 is $5 billion US dollars. And globally, we have 17,000 employees. And what makes us more proud is over 20% of them working on new product research and development. So AIKO, we like to call us the innovator in the solar industry. So we focus a lot on the new technologies and innovations. Right now, globally, we have 3 global R&D centers, 2 located in China and 1 located in Freiburg in Germany. And also we have a lot of collaboration with the Industrial Institute in order to develop the new products. So in terms of the production capability, right now, as you can see from the screen, we have 5 production bases, which give us 61 gigawatts for the solar cell manufacturing and also 25 gigawatts for the ABC module. So here I want to mention a little bit for our business strategy. So for the traditional solar cells, mono-PERC or TOPCon, we still manufacturing and offer to our global partners because we already work together for many years. But for this new technology, we call it the ABC, all back contact technology. All the solar cells will keep by ourselves, and we will manufacture our own modules and offering to the market. So here is the key milestone from AIKO. I think we are the few suppliers. You can see we define our development by the technologies we innovated at the beginning. So AIKO actually entered the solar industry in 2009. And back to that time, I think the mainstream technology, if you still remember, is aluminum BSF solar modules. And the efficiency is around 18 to 19%. So when AIKO entered the industry, we already realized that the aluminum BSF, we already hit the theoretical limit. That's why AIKO was one of the first promoter in the industry on the mono-PERC. Right now, I think everybody know that mono-PERC is the mainstream technology. And I think last year, it will at least have around 60% market share. And after that, we keep innovation on the PERC technologies. So that's why in 2019, we invented the bifacial cells methodology and classification, which bring the whole industry to the bifacial era. And after that, we are also one of the first providers start manufacturing the G12 solar cells. It's a 210 millimeter solar cell. I think right now some other module suppliers, they make this technology more well known by the market, but actually we are the driver behind. So after these innovations, we already realized the P-type technologies already hit the limit. That's why we decide to make the transition from P-type to N-type. So in 2021, we invented our ABC solar cell as all back contact solar cell. So the efficiency already reached 26.2%. I think that is our record of 3 years ago. And 1 year later, and because this new technology is really impressive and give us the confidence to expand our business from a pure solar cell manufacturing to solar module. And right now, this year, we will launch our second generation product, and later I will introduce some special features of this product. So in summary, I want to say that AIKO, we are the leader for P-type era in terms of solar cell manufacturing. So we have the confidence that in N-type era, we will leading for the solar modules. So this slide gives us the end-to-end vertical industrial chain. As you can see from the solar cell, solar module, and one-stop solution, it's all produced and offered by AIKO. And we do have some investment on the upstream side from the polysilicon and the wafer. And this is basically for two key purposes. The first one is to make sure that we can have some control on the raw materials. Because as you know, if you want to manufacture the most efficient module, you cannot only do the module assembly. You need to control the upstream quality of the raw materials because that's all matters. And the other part is we want to have a sustainable supply capability or worldwide, especially after seeing what happens in pandemic. So that's why we do have some investment on the upstream as well. And this slide we can see is our local structure in Europe. So basically we have our regional headquarters, which is located in Düsseldorf, Germany. That's where I'm located. And then we divided our European market by 6 key regions. And UK and the Nordic is our Northern European region. And we have our office in Reading, maybe you already know. But in other regions, we also have our local office and the local team. So from our side, we want to build a full functional platform, not only for the sales team, but also for the solution, logistics, service, in order to provide all the support for our local partners. So that's why in AIKO, we say it's in Europe for Europe. So this is a small video about our factory. And this is the latest uh, facility we put into operation to last year. And in this facility, gonna give us 15 gigawatts ABC solar cell together with ABC module. And this is just the first phase of the phase. And for the second phase, we are expected to put everything into operation starting by the end of this year or beginning of 2025. And this will be another 10 gigawatts for the ABC cell and the module production facility. So for this production line, you can see it's fully automatic, and also we do some special innovation. We kind of link the cell manufacturing line together with the module. So if you get a chance to visit our factory, the whole production line is very long. It will be around 1.1 kilometer, which is very impressive. And for AIKO, we kind of differentiate our production line for different scenario products. So for this one, we just see it's our Zhuhai production line will mainly manufacture our rooftop product. And for the utility scale bifacial module, we'll use another production base in Yiwu, our headquarters. So, okay, the previous part, I just introduced a little bit about AIKO as a company. And now let's switch to our key product, AIKO ABC module. So here is our full product portfolio. I would say AIKO, we are the only brand right now in the market promoting back contact technologies for all scenarios from the residential, C&I, and utility. So for the residential scenario, right now we have 4 key products. Our full black modules, both in dual glass version and mono glass version. And we also have the white backsheet module, which will be more powerful. We have the white backsheet black frame, which the delivery power can be 470 volts, and the same for the silver frame, the same delivery power. But this product we mainly target for the small C&I scenario in UK, I believe. And for the Calming series, it's based on our 72 cells module. And we have two key products, mono glass white backsheet and dual glass module, targeted for each for different scenarios. In terms of the utility market or some market that need bifacial modules, we have our Stella series 72 cells module as well, and the delivery power can reach, the latest information I heard is we can also deliver 640 volts. This is a bifacial dual glass module. So here you can see is we list all of our key features of ABC module, and later I'll go through them one by one. But here I just want to mention the design philosophy of our ABC product, because from all of our product is designed based on two objectives. The first one is we want to guarantee that all the users will have the higher installed capacity within the same dimension, which means our product will guarantee the users will have a higher power output for each square meter. And the second objectives is to guarantee that within the each wall peak you installed in your roof, we try to take care, maximize the clean energy generation over the whole lifetime. So all these features we introduce later is served to these two purposes. So this is the first feature. I think it's pretty straightforward. Is our higher power output, because we use back contact technologies, which means that for the regular solar cells, you have a double step metallization process. The grid lines on the front side shading all solar cells. According to our analysis, this reduce the 3 to 5% of wafer of the sunlight to generate the power. So instead of this, we try to move all the contact circuit to the backside and then make full use of the front side to absorb the sunlight to generate the power and then use the backside to convert the current. So that's why if you look at the right side, so with the same dimension, our module can always guarantee you have 30 to 50 volts actual power output. So right now we pick the industrial stand average using the TOPCon module, because we believe that right now I think the mono PERC is kind of obsolete technology. They will slightly phase down in the next couple of years. And here is the efficiency record, which is summarized by Taiyang News. So every month, Taiyang News will summarize the top module list based on the commercialized efficiency. Since AIKO entering the European market, I think last March or April, we keep the first position until now. So right now, our latest record is 24%. As you can see, comparing with the other brand from the second position to the, let's say, top 5, we have a big differences in terms of efficiency, so almost 1% higher. So here I want to introduce a unique selling point for our ABC module. We call it the partial shading optimization. So this is just a real life test. After that, we will explain the principle behind it. You can see the right-hand side is our ABC module, and the right-hand side is the traditional module. So you can pick whatever technology you want in the mono PERC TOPCon is all behave the same. So you can see at the beginning, when we connect the module, the water pump starts working well, which means that both modules can generate power. But if we put some small shadows on the panels, we can see here, our ABC module can still keep the voltage output, but the regular one, the voltage drop down very fast. And this you can also tell from the backside water pump. The water pump have a lower output. That's why the height of the water is also reduced. And we just keep shading to see what's going to happen. So you can see after full shadings, the traditional module, I think only have around 30% output left. But if you check our modules, you still have around 85% to 90%. And we will keep shading, and you can see for the traditional module, the voltage is almost dropped down to 0, so barely it didn't generate the power. And also the water pump is already stopped working. For our solution, you can see the water pump still pumping well, and you have most of the power output. So this is just an experiment test to have 12 shadings. So this is I would say the worst scenario we will have in reality. You can see even under this situation, our module still can keep most of the output. But for the regular module, I think it's very hard to operate normally. And we do have a report from TrueNode, which is certified that even just one solar cell is fully shaded, our ABC module can produce actual 30% of electricity than the other technologies. So later, if you're interested in this report, our team can share with you. And normally, I always receive some questions about how the module behaves because people will curious. Will the shading performance differences if we're shading the module from the long side or short side? I think this video just explain the reason behind it, why our module just behave different from the others. I think you can see for the traditional module, I think most people know that whenever you have any shadings on the panel, how the module gonna work is the module gonna activate the bypass belt, and then you're gonna lose the complete two-cell array as what we can see from the video. But for our ABC module, our solar cell, because of the special design of the cell topology, we have a very special feature, we call it the soft breakdown. So instead of activate the bypass belt, our solar cell will bypass itself, which means that you can see from here, for the rest of the modules, for the rest of the cells, beside the shaded cell, they can still generate the power. That's the key difference is why our modules will just function well under these kind of shading scenarios. I think easier explain why the module behave quite different is in operation is we see the module different because as I mentioned at the beginning, AIKO, we are the solar cell manufacturing. So we see each solar cell like an independent CPU. They can work by themselves. But for the traditional modules, they see the whole panel as one laptop or one CPU. So they will affect the performance of each other. And another unique feature of our module is high temperature restriction. So we try to keep shading the two modules for 1 hour, and let's test the temperature. So as you can see here, after just shading the panels for 1 hour, you can see the traditional module temperature is almost 150 Celsius degree, which is pretty high. But if you're checking the temperature of our ABC module, it will be only around 100%, 100 Celsius degree. So it's way lower than the regular one. So what we see in the reality is for the high temperature, they will cause two issues. The first one, they will speed up the degradation of the solar module, especially for the shaded cells. That's why in reality, when we see some panels, they suffering regular shadings, that if we send the modules back to the laboratory, you can see the degradation is very fast. It's faster than what we written in the warranty. And if the shading lasts long enough, it can burn down the solar cell and sometimes even cause the yellowing on the back. And in the worst scenarios, they will also lead to some fire hazard issues. And for our modules, because the soft breakdown features, and we can well manage the temperature, we believe this is going to be a key differences when we're talking about the rooftop projects, because whenever we put some generation facilities on the top of our house or on the commercial buildings, I think the fire safety will be the top priority we need to consider. And the second one will be the generation. I think with these features, we can highly reduce the potential fire risk for these kind of projects. And the next feature I would like to share is our micro crack resistance, because I think for all the modules, you will know that before they ship out to the factories, we're gonna do the EL test. But during the transportation and the installation process, it's very easy to cause some invisible cracks on the solar cell, which will lead to the production loss in reality. Here we just need to set several most common micro crack types in reality. So comparing with the traditional one, our ABC module have three key advantages. The first one is single-side welding. So if you check the welding circuit of the traditional module, you will see that because they have a double-side grid line, or let's say current collecting circuit, that's why they need to have a Z-type welding from the front side, connecting to the next cell of the back side, and then connect to the other front side modules. So for this kind of Z-type welding, if you put some extra pressure, it's very easy to cause a crack release on the edge. And also, if you consider a 24 hours, even without the external force, the solar module will generating heat, and during the daytimes and during nighttime it cool down itself. So you always have this kind of stress on the edge side. But for our modules, we move all the contact circuit to the back. So we only have a single set of welding. So in terms of the crack risk on the edge, we don't have these, we don't suffer these issues. And the second part is the welding strength. So this is determining if there is external force press on your panels, what is the risk of the panels will crack on the contact circuit. So as you can see, comparing with the traditional technologies, our ABC module have a better welding strength, which can significantly decrease the risk of detachment and micro cracks. And the last one is our super bus bar design. Because right now, if you check the industry average, I think most of the modules, they will have the multiple bus bar design. The bus bar will be around 12 to 16. But for our modules, we have 20 bus bars behind our cells. And this can help us to guarantee that in case there is some small micro cracks happens, the current will easily to find the next closest bus bar to traveling, so which can highly reduce the minority carriers traveling distance to reduce the production loss caused by the micro cracks. So the next feature, I think, is pretty technical terms. Is we call it a better temperature coefficient. And for this part, I think temperature coefficient is very technical terms. But the reason behind it is if we check the data sheet, we know all the modules are actually tested under the STC. We call it the standard testing conditions, which is all the modules output are actually tested and at 25 Celsius degree. So when the module operating in reality, it's gonna generating heat and the temperature will increase. But all the modules, they have a very unpleasant feature. When the temperature increase, the output power from the module will drop down. But as we do some analysis in the weather in Europe, especially UK and the Nordic, most of the production hours for your region is actually during summer season. But because the summer season, the temperature will increase, the output power from the module will not be the nameplate power, which we will see is 450, 440. Maybe it will be only around 420 and 400 volts. So the temperature coefficient is the index behind it. The higher the temperature coefficient, the faster the degradation the module will have. So as you can see from the curve, we summarize for the 60 Celsius degree, I think that's the most realistic number in UK, Ireland, and the Nordic areas. So the ambient temperature outside will be around 20 Celsius degree, 25 Celsius degree. If you consider during the peak lunch hour, I think the module temperature will be very easy to around 60 to 80 Celsius degree. So you can see within this, under this temperature, our ABC module can give you actual 1.4 to 2.2% production. This is the actual performance of the modules in reality. That's why we said for each valve peak, for our module design, we want to make sure that you can maximize your production for the lifetime. And the right side, we have a report, testing report from CEA. It's a Clean Energy Association. It's a European study institute. They will normally summarize the performance and reliability of all the modules. And last year, they tested 39 modules from different brand, different technologies. And surprisingly, they find out our ABC module has the best temperature coefficient. And you may notice that right now, the full mark of this test should be 100, but they give us 107 because the previous full mark is 0.30 because they believe if any modules can make a 0.30, it's already a pretty good number. If we check the current number for monoPERC module is 0.34, but just they find out our module is only 0.26. So they say, okay, this year I can give you 107. instead of full mark, but next year they are really considering to use our reference as the new full mark. And the last part, I think, is more related to the utility market, is a higher bifacial output. And here we just compare our bifacial output. We call it bifacial output. Is we combine output from front side and back side, considering the albedo for each scenarios. So here you can, if you see the number, it's actually the combined output from both the module front side and back side. So you can see on average, we have 5% actual output in different scenarios, which will always make sure that our product can maximize the production if the land size is limited, and also help the customer to save on the balance of system BOS saving, because we can use less modules for the same capacity of the project. And later, I want to share just about our value proposition for each scenarios. For the residential, our module have a higher power output, and also our module will be more aesthetically intact with the building because it have a full black appearance without any contact circuit grid lines on the front side. And also our module have a high temperature restriction, so it will be more safety if you put the module on top of your house. And for the CNI scenarios, our product will try to help the customer to faster their payback period and bring more lifetime cycles benefits. And for the utility scenarios, we will optimize our LCOE for different scenarios in order to guarantee our customer will have a better cash flow and a better IRR for all the projects. So that's just introduce about the key features or key values of our products. So later I'll go through several cases to explain how these features will bring the end user some values. So for the residential scenarios, we see 4 key challenges. The first one is the module, just the regular module, just industrial product. So if we put on the panels, we can still see the grid lines, the white back sheet. So it's not a very aesthetic intact with the residential building. And the other side is for the rooftop projects, normally the limitation is the available space. That's also why from AIKO side, we see every roof will matters, because we believe this is a very valuable I think a place for the customer. So you better make full use of the generation capacity. And the third part is the shading, because for the rooftop projects, it's very common to have some chimneys, some trees, or some buildings. They will shade the panels regularly, and this will affect a lot on the production. And last part, as we mentioned, is the rooftop safety. So whenever there is a fire hazard, that will destroy all the properties of the, not only for the roof, but maybe for the whole family. So this is our key product for the residential scenario. We will have our new Star series. So the white backsheet module, our deliver power will be 470 volts. So I think right now we have at least 20 to 30 volts differences than the other competitors. And in terms of the delivery efficiency, is 23.6%. And another part I think I didn't mention before is our lower degradation. As you can see, our product only have 1% degradation on the first year and 0.35% annually. So this will just to guarantee that within the 20 to 30 years lifetime, you can always keep the output from your project or from your system. And here I just want to share a residential case we have done in Reading, UK. It's a 4 people's family house. And in terms of installed capacity, as you can see from the left-hand bar chart, for the regular module, if you put 8 modules, which will only give you 3.2 kilowatts installed capacity. But if you switch to our ABC modules, I think you can easily have 3.6 kilowatts. I think this analysis is still based on our first generation. I think with the second generation, I think you may reach 3.7 or 3.8 kilowatts. And for sure, a little bit more installation, the customer will need to invest a little bit more at the beginning. But if you look at the payback period of the investment, I would say it's definitely worth it. because you can see in terms of the payback period, our ABC module our ABC solution will have the system payback within 4 years. According to our calculation, will be 1.5 years faster than the regular solution. And in terms of lifetime production, you can see we can produce actual 22% electricity energy. So you can use this energy to power your house and even charge your electricity vehicle. And if we consider the 30 years lifetime benefits and comparing with the mono-PERC technology, for the whole lifetime, we can bring actual 5,300 pounds pure revenue for the users. And then another case I want to share is our CNI scenario. Again, the challenge we recognize is first one, because the rooftop, it's a still rooftop project. We believe the space is still very limited. And the other challenge for this kind of CNI scenario is almost from 300 kilowatts to megawatts project. So the BOS installation cost and labor cost is also very high. And also for these kind of rooftop projects, it's very hard to avoid the shadings. And the last part is for these kind of projects, I think normally you need to have a O&M team to do the regular maintenance. The operation and the maintenance is also some challenges we need to have to face in this kind of CNI scenario. And in terms of this scenario, our key product are going to be our Comet series, and for 60-30 volts for the delivery power efficiency up to 23.9%, and also pairing with our unique selling feature of partial shading optimization, temperature restriction, and the micro crack resistance. And this is similar to the previous case. This is the case we do for the CNI scenario 300 kilowatt system. So comparing with the traditional mono-PERC technology, you can see we have actual 12.96% installed capacity within the same roof. And look at the payback period, because the CNI scenario, normally the electricity price will be cheaper than the residential. So you do need a longer time for the system to cover all of your investment. So right now the result is 6.6 years, but comparing with the regular solution, we still have 1 year faster than the others. In terms of production and the benefits, we can bring actual 20% for lifetime production. And if you consider the revenue, which will be equivalent to 235,000 pounds in a lifetime, which I would say is a huge differences. And in the last part, I would say to share the utility scenarios. I think this is basically from 1 megawatts to 5 megawatts projects. And we see a lot in the priority in the market. And right now we also see the trend. There are some special scenarios like agri PV, floating PV. And for these kind of scenarios, normally they will have a higher BOS cost than the regular solar solution. And also, let's say for the floating PV, the shading will be a big concern, challenges for them. So in terms of utility scenario, or let's say agri PV or floating PV, we will offer our Stella series, so more powerful modules with a slightly large dimension. And the delivery power will be 640 volts, and the efficiency will up to 23.7. I think some people will have some questions why the efficiency is a little bit lower than the Comet series, because previous is 23.9%. Because for the back contact technologies, here we try to optimize the output from both front side and back side. So we do sacrifice a little bit output from front side in order to increase our backside generation. But from our analysis, in general, if we combine both the generation from both sides, this product can help you to maximize the generation and also the lower the LCOE. And here for the Stella series, we offer a upgrade package, which is waterproof. And this package is a dedicated design for some floating and some tidal flat project, which the module will be installed very close to the water. So you have a lot of salty spray and water vapor. So we will offer water-resistant encapsulation and anti-corrosion frame and waterproof cap in order to make sure the product can live through for the whole 20 to 30 years project lifetime. And for the LCOE, we also do the similar analysis. So I will not go through them one by one, but overall, you can see for the offshore tidal flats, fishery and mountain projects, in terms of LCOE, levelized cost of the electricity, we have 3% less. We can save 3% in terms of LCOE, which means that the actual 3% lifetime revenue for the project developer and owners. So, okay, and that's everything I want to share today. So here you can also find the contact of our UK and the Nordic team. And if you have any questions, so feel free to let me know. And also after the meeting, you can also contact our colleagues and they will get back to you.
Right. Yeah. So thank you, Shawn, for the nice presentation. Yeah, as you've said, these are the people who we are based locally in UK. So we also have Mark Eastgate, who is our new UK and Ireland BD, our sales manager, and also Agatha Kawa, who is our marketing manager. And we also have Mohammed, who is based in Düsseldorf, but is helping with the region 100%.
And I see a question asking about how to recognize the first and second series for ABC panel. I think a very good question, because I think starting from March, AIKO will offering our second generation product in the market. And I'll say from two parts. First one is dimension. I think that's very straightforward, because for our first generation, 54 cells module will be the dimension will be 1722 by 1134. So this is our first generation. But for the second generation, we slightly increase the dimension a little bit, and the new size will be 1757 by 1134. So you can easily tell from the dimension of the panels. And some differences I want to mention about the first generation and second generation is, first one, the power output. So for the second generation, you do have a higher output and higher efficiency. And the second part is the special, the unique selling point, like partial shading optimization, high temperature restriction. These and also the microcrack resistance. All these three features will be integrated for the second generation. So this is a special upgrade. But for the let's say the full black appearance, no grid line on the front, and also the degradation ratio and temperature coefficient, they will stay the same. So the first generation and second generation will be exactly the same. I see another question about does the partial shading soft breakdown affect the compatibility with other panel level optimizers? No, definitely not. So I'll say with these functions, if you do not have optimizer, so this partial shading optimization function can help you to reduce the shading impact on the output of the modules, because it's optimized from different level. If you consider the optimizer, it's actually optimized the system output from the string side, because of the shaded panel, the optimizer will not optimize the output from the shaded panel, but they can change the current of the shaded panel in order to make sure the rest of the modules connected to series, they won't affect it. But for our modules, even for the shaded panels, we can reduce the power loss from that one. So it's from different level, and our module will be compatible with the optimizers. So we don't have any problem on that.
When will panels be available to order? I think if you guys can see on the Segen portal, our modules are already online. Actually, you can see the 445 watt. That's generation 1 or black, and you can see the 450. But only only very few left in stock, and also our 455 black frame. That's generation 1, and then also the 615 watt. Silver frame, that one is actually a generation 2 product already in stock. Yeah, so all of the products are actually in stock, apart from the standard version, yeah, which is the 192 cell. And that is for mainly bifacial, dual glass, mainly for utility scale.
And I see another question asking, can we get a comparison between AIKO panel vs 435 volts? Yeah, I think definitely, because if you put the panels data sheet side by side, you will see several points that they're definitely different. The first one is power output for our second generation. I think if you consider the full black version, the delivery power will be 455 volts to 460 volts, and for the white backsheet, the delivery power will be 465, 470. So definitely a higher output within the same dimension. And if you check the degradation, I think comparing with the other N-type technologies, our module will degrade slowly. So normally, I think their degradation ratio will be 0.4 linear degradation. Our module is only 0.35. That's another differences. And another part is the temperature coefficient. If you check, the regular one will be around 0.30, and our only 0.26. This is also one. And besides that, I will say the difference is for our second generation, this kind of shading optimization, temperature restriction. I think this is our unique point. So we are the only suppliers in the market offering these features.
I'm just having a look at the Jinko 435 watt module data sheets. So I think you're talking about the one that is TopCon and the Tiger Neo N-type one. So it's similar to us that they are also using N-type, but they are using the TopCon technology, and we're using our ABC technology. So for sure, the very unique feature of us being cell level shade optimization, they wouldn't have. Also, they wouldn't have. They would have a yeah, the temperature coefficient is for them is 0.29, and we are 0.26, so that helps you have a better performance during noontime when the production is actually the highest. I can also see that their cell size, their module size is 1762. I think our generation 2 one is 1757, so I think their module is just slightly bigger than ours. And also with the same, I think with very similar size, you can see with generation 1, we were already 450 or 445. With generation 2, we will be 455 and 460.
Okay, I see Andrew said he probably need a battle card to send to the customer. Yeah, for sure, we can support you on that. So after this meeting, we'll make an apple-to-apple comparison in terms of the panel, the key features and the parameters, and later maybe our team can share with you. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.